On March 23, 2020, Valve released Half-Life Alyx, a virtual reality prequel set between Half-Life 1 and 2 that marked Valve's return to the Half-Life IP after 13 years. When the game was announced on November 18, 2019, many people, including myself, expected Merle Dandridge to return as the voice of Alyx Vance, as her voice was instrumental in developing this complex and well-designed character. On the 21st of November that same year, Valve released a trailer for the game, and the voice was not the same.
Alyx? Alyx!
I'm here. So what's the plan?
If we can get this weapon, what we're doing here could change things forever.
There's no straight shot to the vault. I'm gonna head inside, find a way out. Got it.
People started noticing, especially longtime fans of the series, and many of these fans showed confusion over the voice change. Alyx Vance's new voice was confirmed to be Ozioma Akaga, not Merle Dandridge. There were pretty understandable reasons to recast characters like Eli, however Alyx is a different story. On January 2nd, 2020, Valve's Half-Life Alyx team hosted a Reddit AMA on the r/Half-Life subreddit. Here they offered to answer questions that were given by fans in the replies. The question was asked, if Alyx's voice actor was recast, will we ever know why? To which Valve responded, we worked with Merle at the beginning of Half-Life Alyx development, but in the end felt we wanted to go in a different direction. We love Merle, her work in Half-Life 2 was instrumental in bringing Alyx to life, and we hope to work with her again in the future. Now unfortunately, other than what Valve had stated, we didn't have any official information on the specifics of the recast. Valve had also not stated the specifics of the direction they wanted the character to go, or why Merle did not fit their criteria for it. At least it's good to know that they hope to work with Merle in the future, and implies that for whatever reason the change was, it was likely on good terms. However, in Half-Life Alyx, Valve confirms that playtests made it clear that Dandridge's performance was a mismatch for a younger Vance. So what we learned from the Reddit AMA in the final hours is that Valve originally started working with Merle Dandridge as the voice of Alyx Vance before recasting. This is further confirmed by a sound file left in the retail build of Half-Life Alyx's files, as well as the Strider Canyon gameplay shown in the final hours of Half-Life Alyx.
Yeah. Okay. Stay down.
Alyx, great. Okay, let's... Wait, my drone's okay, right?
No, it exploded. I'm okay, though.
Right, good. Well, that's the main... Now look, you've got to see this.
What is it?
It's a holding facility. Whatever thing they've got in there needs more energy than I've ever seen. See those conduits? Each one has an energy capacity of 4, maybe 5,000 terawatts.
But you don't know what's inside.
I don't, but I think your father does.
So the Combine have some mysterious... God knows what. And they have my dad. And we have...
My plan to get him back.
Well, great. Let's hear it.
Now, pretty soon they're going to realize that your dad is not going to talk. And when that happens, he's off to have his brain sucked out.
Russell.
Potentially. Maybe not, though. I mean, they could just drill into his...
Stop.
Oh, yeah. Still your dad. Right. Well, what they will do is take him by train from here. This is Eli. To here. Nova Prospect.
And if he gets on the train, that's it, right?
Not necessarily. Grab something that represents us. Okay, that's you.
I thought you said us.
Well, one of us, me, will have to stay here for this plan to work.
Okay.
Just outside, there's a second train that also leads out of City 17, through the quarantine zone.
Okay.
Both trains intersect here, at Fairview Junction. You take your train, get there before his train, and hack into the controls. That'll let me take over the system. Train comes to a halt, you deal with the Combine situation, and we get your dad back.
Yeah. Where's the train I'm taking?
Out the back, through the yard. It's decommissioned, but I think I can hack into its controls. Oh, and get yourself a pair of Russells on the way out.
Russells?
The gloves, Alyx. You know, the gravity gloves. I have a few sets through there. You can calibrate them out by the shed.
Got it.
We can do this, Alyx. You got that, didn't you, that I said we could do it? Because we're gonna do it.
Yeah.
I'm with you every step of the way.
This audio appears to be the first in-person conversation Alyx has with Russell, except some slight differences in Alyx and Russell's script, and Alyx is clearly voiced by Merle Dandridge. This is one full audio clip instead of multiple audio clips that were separate that I put together like all the other retail sound files, considering this is 1. An all-in-one audio clip complete with Half-Life 2 sound effects, 2. Uses somewhat awkward pacing and audio balancing, and 3. Found in the models folder instead of the sounds folder, and in a Maya/animation folder, probably referring to what Valve used to animate. I believe we can safely assume this is some sort of choreography testing file, or due to the Maya/animation folder, could have been a reference for animating Russell in Maya, the animation program primarily used by Valve. In any case, some voice lines were either cut or changed for both Alyx and Russell. It's very possible that even if Merle stayed as the voice actress, these might not have been the final voice lines, especially if they decided to take Alyx in a different direction. If any of you are familiar with Half-Life 2 beta leaks that included early voice lines, you'd know that Half-Life 2 had a lot of voice lines that were changed and or removed not long before the game's release.
Final sequence. Commencing now.
I can't look.
Splendid.
We ain't out of the woods yet.
Well, did it work?
See for yourself.
Hey, Doc.
Don't worry, Gordon.
There he is. Oh, we're losing him again.
On the signal, Judith.
I can't.
This is a significant development. As soon as I hear from my contact, we can make our move. The only potential drawback is that man, the one I saw. There he is again.
Regardless, here's a direct comparison between the two voice actresses using the voice lines that most closely resemble each other.
Nope, it exploded. I'm fine, by the way.
No, it exploded. I'm okay, though.
Great. Let's hear it.
Well, great. Let's hear it.
Russell.
Russell.
Stop.
Stop.
And if he gets on that train, that's it, right?
And if he gets on the train, that's it, right?
I thought you said us.
I thought you said us.
All right, fair enough.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
sounds good. Where's the train I'm taking?
Yeah. Where's the train I'm taking?
Russell's?
Russell's?
Got it.
Got it.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Now, if these were all we had, I would wrap up the video with some speculation and that would be it. However, sometime in April of 2020, a passionate streamer streamed a leaked, never-before-seen build of Half-Life Alyx from August of 2019, which showed many beta models, materials, concepts, and story elements from the game's late development. From the footage we have seen, it seems that Merle Dandridge was the voice of Alyx in the game from start to finish, at least 7 months before release. Considering Half-Life Alyx mainly started development around February 2016, around 4 years before release, that's really late in development to change VAs. This does fall in line with the dates of the recast mentioned in the final hours. And looking at the footage, the build may have been after the start of the major story rewrite. The start and the end of the game are extremely similar to what we have in the final game. The ending being the one confirmed by the final hours as being an addition made after Jay Pinkerton and Eric Walpole returned to Valve to help rewrite. Now, to avoid getting this video taken down, I will not show any of the visual footage from these leaks. I will, however, play some of the audio clips I took from them and directly compare them with the retail version of the game. I won't be going over all of them, just some of the standouts. I'd like to say, as I noted at the beginning of the video, nothing heard here is new. These have all been very easily publicly accessible via Google searches and YouTube since April of 2020.
Alyx, how's it looking up there?
It's good, Dad. Metrocop movement is normal. Same for the Combine patrols. How's it going in the stockyard?
Alyx, how's it looking up there?
It's good, Dad. Metrocop movement is normal. Same for the Combine patrols. How's it going at the stockyard?
1 minute and I'm out, guaranteed.
Oh, also, I spotted the Combine moving supplies into the quarantine zone. That place has been deserted for years.
Hey, what the heck? You gotta manhandle a drone, build it, Oh, here we go.
Oh, also, I spotted the Combine moving supplies into the quarantine zone. That place has been deserted for years.
It looks like... What is it, Russell?
Would you... Terrific.
It looks like... What is it, Russell?
What did you... Terrific.
Alex,
Are we good?
yep, they got the reactor. Easy peasy. I'm headed back to the safe house right now to meet Dad.
Alex, are we good?
Yeah, they got the reactor. Easy peasy. I'm heading back to the safe house right now to meet Dad.
Go. We'll be in touch.
Stay safe.
Go. We'll be in touch.
Stay safe.
Put something in it. I want to see how this thing works.
Got it. Will it work on the Russells?
Put something in it. I want to see how this thing works.
Are the Russells compatible?
Gave you one of my lesser guns.
Thanks, Russell.
I gave you one of my lesser guns.
Thanks, Russell.
Tell you what, Russell. If I die, I owe you a gun.
Tell you what, Russell. If I die, I owe you a gun.
Now this next comparison shows the ending of Half-Life Alyx. This part is arguably the most important comparison because although the script is not much different, especially in the case of the Gman, the performances are so different they might as well be voicing two entirely different characters. The difference in emotion that Alyx has drastically changes the tone of the dialogue between Alyx and the Gman, despite Gman's dialogue only having a difference of one line. This may give light to the direction Valve decided to take in the final product.
Impressive work, Ms. Vance.
Gordon... Freeman?
Impressive work, Ms. Vance.
Who the hell are you?
You wouldn't need all that to imprison Gordon Freeman.
So... who are you?
That is a question with a multitude.
Just stop. There was supposed to be a weapon. Where is it? Is it in the briefcase? Are you the weapon?
The Combine off Earth. I want the Combine off Earth.
The Combine gone. I want the Combine gone.
Interests of my employers.
Well, you asked.
Given the interests of my employers.
Well, you asked.
Dad? Dad? What? Is that me? What is this? What's happening?
Where are we?
We are in... Unless...
What? Unless what?
Unless...
What?
Right. So he's okay, right? He lives. My dad lives. All right. So he's okay, right? He lives. My dad lives. No! I just want to go home. Send me home!
I'm afraid you misunderstand the situation, Miss Vance.
No. I am going home. I just want to go home.
I'm afraid you misunderstand the situation, Miss Vance.
Now I'll show you a video released by one of Valve's character animators, Jamal Bradley. This video shows Jamal recording acting and animation reference for the Gman. Merle Dandridge's performance can be heard, including different and likely older, since this was probably made before Gman was animated, voice line takes of the same ending scene.
Impressive work, Miss Vance.
Who the hell are you?
That is a question with a multitude.
Just stop. There was supposed to be a weapon. Where is it? Is it in the briefcase? Are you the weapon?
Perhaps what I am is not as important as what I can offer you in exchange for coming all this way. Some believe the fate of our worlds is inflexible. My employers disagree. They authorize me to nudge things in a particular direction from time to time. What would you want nudged, Miss Vance?
What do you mean? Like, wishes? You grant wishes. Okay, alright. The Combine off Earth. I want the Combine off Earth.
That would be a considerably large nudge. Too large, given the interests of my employers.
Well, you asked.
What if I could offer you something you don't know?
Now, considering Valve has given multiple reasons for the recast over time, there may not be only one specific reason for Valve's decisions. However, in order to avoid confusion, we should look at each reason for recasting one at a time. This part of the video will start going more heavier in the semi-opinionated direction because I will be going based off of what I hear and understand, which may have personal bias for or against what I am comparing. As we already know, in the Reddit AMA for Half-Life Alyx, Valve stated the reason for a recast was because they wanted to go in a different direction. For the direction, I will speak on both performances, the script, the writing, and how it fits within the context of Half-Life's universe. Now, what's important to think about is what direction are these performances going regardless of what Valve's plans were, as well as how different they were. We'll look at it initially without going too in-depth with the age of Alyx and Half-Life Alyx. Since the script and performance seem relatively similar near the beginning of the game, we're going to look at the performance of her interactions with the Gman at the end of the game. Something that immediately stands out in the first few voice lines of Merle Dandridge's performance is that instead of asking about Gordon Freeman or the weapon, more quietly like Ozioma Akaga, she is extremely confrontational with the G-Man. She shows frustration and anger on top of her confusion, like she already understands that something is off with her discovery of the G-Man.
Who the hell are you?
That is a question with a multitude.
Just stop. There was supposed to be a weapon. Where is it? Is it in the briefcase? Are you the weapon?
Gordon Freeman? So, who are you?
Ozioma Akaga's performance, in comparison, is more timid and respectful, seemingly unaware that G-Man is not the person she believed was in the vault. Her tone, in my opinion, does not bring to attention the unexpected nature of the G-Man and her surroundings. This is also the part where the script implies that originally Alyx was not expecting Gordon in the first place, but just a weapon that the Combine were afraid of. So Merle Dandridge Alyx's reactions may come from the misunderstanding of seeing a somewhat regular man instead of what you would expect to be called a weapon. Ozioma Akaga's Alyx's reactions does at first seem fitting, as she was expecting a person or man in the vault as opposed to a vague weapon. However, this doesn't account for the high possibility that Alyx would know, or at least suspect, that the G-Man is not Gordon Freeman, even if she doesn't know who the G-Man is. In my opinion, it would not make too much sense for Alyx to not have an idea of who Gordon Freeman was or looked like. In the 8th Half-Life Alyx chapter, Captivity, Alyx mentions that she has heard stories about him. If it's safe to assume that these stories were told by Eli, Kleiner, or Barney, since they knew Gordon to some degree personally, wouldn't it make sense to also assume that they described his appearance to her as well? Gordon has an HEV suit, a goatee, brown hair, and glasses, and possibly a ponytail. None of these descriptions fit the G-Man. In Half-Life 2, Kleiner has a picture on the wall of the science team from Black Mesa, which includes Gordon Freeman himself. Now, in fairness, it is very possible that in Half-Life Alyx's point of the Half-Life story, we have no idea if Eli or Alyx have reunited with Kleiner or Barney. If they haven't, it would give an explanation as to Alyx possibly not seeing the photo, since it's most likely Dr. Kleiner's possession, not Eli's. And it's possible that Eli felt no need to describe Gordon's appearance to her in stories she may have heard. However, Alyx says this in Half-Life 2 when you first meet her.
Dr. Freeman, I presume. I'm Alyx Vance. My father worked with you back in Black Mesa. I'm sure you don't remember me, though. Remember him from Black Mesa? Your old administrator. Don't get my dad started on Dr. Breen.
So not only is Eli one to go on and on with stories, but Alyx recognizes Gordon after beating up the Metro cops, then says, "You probably don't remember me though." Now this may be a stretch, but this implies that Alyx could have very well have seen or met Gordon at some point. This makes sense because when you reunite with Eli in Half-Life 2, he says this if you interact with the Vance family photo.
You remember my wife Ozian, don't you? That picture and Alyx were all I managed to carry out of Black Mesa.
Here, and in episode 2, both Eli and Gman confirm that Alyx was in Black Mesa at some point, including the day of the Resonance Cascade.
I should have known when he rescued her it was for his own damn reasons.
When I plucked her from Black Mesa, I acted in the face of objections that she was a mere child and of no practical use to anyone.
So from these clues, in my opinion, we can gather that unless the Resonance Cascade occurred on the same day as Bring Your Daughter to Work Day, Alyx could have had multiple opportunities to see or meet Gordon in person, if not at least know what he looks like pre-Half-Life 2. Of course, this is ignoring the possibility of retcons, but I doubt Valve would intentionally retcon a plot hole that could easily be avoided by some slight changes in the script. Unless the direction of the way Alyx is written and performed in Half-Life Alyx is intentionally set up this way. I had my suspicions, but after rereading Half-Life Alyx Final Hours, it's basically spelled out for me. Think about what Alyx Vance as the player has ever said about the past. Nearly all voice lines that bring up anything from before the start of Half-Life Alyx are very vague. Things like that she's heard stories, or that life on Earth at the time wasn't great. Anything that is actually specific is only subjects seen or heard by the player. It's like Alyx only knows what the player knows. Almost like Valve decided to write her like a blank slate. From what I see, in order for Valve to give you the most immersion possible, they wrote Alyx to only know what you know, only see what you see, and only hear what you, the player, hears. Considering the expectation that many players would decide to experience Half-Life Alyx for the first time before playing Half-Life 1 and 2, it's a little understandable why Valve decided to take this route, especially since they spoiled the Episode 2 ending at the very beginning of the game, just in case you forgot the most depressing cliffhanger of all time. In the final hours, Ozioma Akaga gives some insight into the direction she took when doing the voice of Alyx Vance. Since the game was in VR, I just had to make sure that Alyx never came across as annoyed, because you don't want someone in your head that sounds irritated at you. Now this does make sense for an immersive blank slate character on paper, however, in my opinion, all of these direction decisions together strip away nearly all the depth of Alyx's character. Her personality is oversimplified to young, neutral, and afraid of the dark, with absolutely no character development. Which, although it again makes sense for that direction they were going for, in my opinion, so much is lost from what makes Alyx who she is. If you swapped her out for a different character other than the ending and her relationship with Eli, would it make much of a difference? You might as well make her completely silent too. I also feel that this not only half solves the problem of trying to immerse the player into the shoes of an existing character, but actively works against it. There are some moments that I wish Alyx would have a stronger reaction to, because when she doesn't, it pulls me out of her shoes instantly. An example of what I mean is how she reacted to the Gman when meeting him. In her shoes, I believe nearly everyone would be angry, scared, or confused, but her reaction to this old man in a suit surrounded by a starfield and a void that teleports them to space, and then the future, is surprisingly neutral. She's more surprised by the fact that he isn't Gordon Freeman than how insane the scene unfolding around her is. Another example is how Alyx reacts to a zombie's corpse in a bathtub. She says, "Uh-oh, this guy's not wearing a shirt." What? I know Alyx is sometimes known to make jokes, but this feels like a far cry from the woman who broke down from coming face to face with a Combine stalker. It seems so out of place, and I can't help but feel that this line mismatches with the tone of the series. And before anyone brings up the Zombine joke in episode 1, which I know some will, not only was the Zombine joke immediately followed up by how awkward and out of pocket it was by Alyx herself, it was referring to a zombie of a Combine soldier that she would normally have no remorse for, not a corpse of an innocent citizen. Combine soldiers are originally willing participants fighting for the Combine, since the resistive are turned into stalkers instead. Again, I would almost rather silence than listen to a character like this speak. I mean, if she is written to only know, hear, and see what the player does, what's the point in making her voiced other than to make basic, non-confrontational responses to the other characters? I just feel it completely goes against her personality in Half-Life 2 and the episodes.
Sure, definitely. With you being so close to the character and likely having... I mean, did you ever have influence over the direction the character took? Like, did you ever discuss things like that with Mark?
Oh, yeah. But you know what? What's interesting is that we were never in disagreement. If something... I remember there was one time when I think they wanted her to be a little... They'd written a bunch of things that were a little bit more like she was really edgy and she cursed a lot, and I was in the booth and I said it a couple of times, a couple of the lines, and I was just like, I don't know, guys. And they were like, yeah, we don't like it. And but it's interesting. We try things, we throw paint at the wall or spaghetti at the wall, see if it sticks, and then move on, but we weren't precious about it. And we just went by gut instinct, and we were just never out of alignment. It was the most fluid and wonderful creative process I have ever had, ever, because it was always greater than I could have imagined, and then they were always delighted when I would go off script, but I would always put it in the can the way that they wanted, and then I would, move on.
That clip comes from an interview recorded by Tyler McVicker on a live stream on the 20th of November, where he does a live interview with Merle Dandridge, the voice of Alyx Vance in Half-Life 2. This was recorded a day before the trailer released and revealed the new VA. In my opinion, it feels wrong to have a voice actress know the character as well as the original writer of Half-Life 2, and then direct the character different enough that this voice actress is no longer fit for a role she had a significant part in creating. But maybe that's my nostalgia talking. This whole interview is so interesting to listen to. The perspective of the voice actress, how close she was to the character, the amount of influence she had, the amount of lines that were actually improv'd. In my opinion, something significant is lost when Alyx is turned into a blank slate. In a follow-up interview recorded by Tyler McVicker on December 23, 2019, he asked more questions to Merle, specifically about her not voicing Alyx in the new game.
What's your opinion on the idea of they chose somebody else because that somebody else needed to sound younger?
I don't know. I don't know what they're trying to do. I certainly know that I'd ask the question because I'm a singer, and I have a gift of manipulating my voice. If they wanted me to try some different sounds, and they never did. So I don't know. So if somebody else has something that they think is right, I will trust that.
This answer to the idea that Valve recasted Merle for how old Alyx needed to sound speaks for itself. Now, Valve never said that they asked her to sound younger, only that she didn't sound the right age. So they didn't lie, but it seems odd to me that this would be an issue worth recasting for if they didn't bother to even give her a chance to try. And like she herself said, she is a singer and she has a gift for manipulating her voice, which I would imagine game devs who often work with voice actors and actresses would already know. There are also many cases of actors and actresses, more specifically the female actresses, being able to voice literal children, both male and female, all the way into the actress's old age, We see this with characters like Bart and Lisa Simpson, Robin from Teen Titans, the Powerpuff Girls, and Ben 10. So for Valve to recast her because of that reason, I'm sorry, that's a load of crap. I don't buy it. It makes me feel like something weird is going on, but that's getting too speculatory, so I'll leave it alone. After looking into the details of the recasting and the decisions behind them, I prefer Merle Dandridge as the voice of Alyx Vance, and I feel that Valve could have made her as the voice actress work in Half-Life Alyx despite their reasonings. Ozioma Akaga didn't do a bad job, but I disagree with Valve on her being the better fit for the character in Half-Life Alyx. Is it that important? Yes, for the future of the series I believe it is. Part of what makes Half-Life great are the characters, their depth, and their relatability. Maybe this will only be the case for Half-Life Alyx. I hope it is, because Alyx is one of the most important protagonists in the entire series besides Gordon. I'd hate for her to lose what makes her special as a character. Now you may be asking, why am I making a video about this? Well, there are many reasons. It's fun to discuss content and reasoning behind certain decisions. I wanted a reason to explore and research the lore of the Half-Life universe and try looking at the series through the lens of a developer. And I wanted to open discussion with my subscribers on how they feel and if there are some things I overlooked or needed to take into account. What do you think? Is the new VA and direction a good fit for Alyx Vance, or should Alyx continue to have the original voice actress? Feel free to discuss and explain your reasonings in the comments. If they haven't, it would give explanation as to why Alyx not seeing the photo. If they haven't, it would give explanation as to why Alyx would have not seen the photo. If they haven't, it would give explanation as to why. If they haven't, it would give explanation as to Alyx not seeing the photo, because if they haven't, goodness, if they haven't, it wouldn't. If they haven't, it would give explanation as to why Alyx. If they haven't, it would give explanation as to why Alyx not seeing the photo, since it's not. Man, I think I just typed this out wrong. That's why I'm having struggle reading it. This makes sense because when you reunite. This makes sense because when you reunite. This makes sense because.
Now there's the theory going around that you're still in the trailer. Is that true?
Again, I couldn't speculate, but I know my voice pretty well. I'm pretty sure I heard it.
I heard it too, and it seems a little, and I'm not going to put any words in your mouth here, but it seems a little nefarious to bait and switch the audience like that.
Oh, I never thought of that. That hurts my feeling. That hurts my heart to think that people would feel that way.
That's feel that it's wrong to bait and switch the audience, or that's what Valve did?
It hurts my heart to think just that idea in general. It hurts my heart.